Hello and welcome back to Dragon Quest World Tutorials. I'm Coach GZZ, and in this video we're going to go into an in-depth look at the new Mega Monster that is going to be the Comet Slime. So pretty much in my previous video, I did a battle with the Comet Slime to show what the battle would be like, but I would now like to do a more in-depth video in which I will go over the abilities of the Comet Slime and also be trying a new strategy as well. So in the initial, or when I initially went over the Mega Monster, I mentioned that it is going to have resistances, or going to have the following resistances at the start of the battle, which could change depending on its tension level. So going to be these right here. So weapon resistance 40%, physical technique resistance 10%, spell resistance 10%, and breath resistance at 30%. So those are going to actually be in effect on how I want to go about this battle. So pretty much over here is the team that I want to use. So while my dragon did quite well with doing damage with the Dragon God King's staff, the Comet Slime actually has pretty high resistance to breath attacks, so 30%, which is why I would like to focus on using physical technique attacks to fight against this Mega Monster. So over here, this is going to be a Demon Swordsman equipped with the Enchanted Ribbon. So this is actually going to have the ability called Sexy Beam, so going to actually do some pretty good damage to the enemy, I believe. So this originally came out in 2023 for the Dangerous Swimsuit, so this is actually a pretty effective weapon. Then over here I'm going to have the Power Pole, which is a weapon that we've had earlier this year during the Dragon Ball event. So going to be using Kamehameha, which I can actually get up to 4,000% damage if I get my excitement level up to level 5. So that should actually do some pretty good damage to the enemy as well. Then over here, also from the Dragon Ball event, is going to be Demon King Piccolo's Throne. So this is going to have the ability called Explosive Demonic Wave. So this is actually going to be a very good weapon to use for this particular battle, mainly for the ability that you have for this particular weapon, which is going to be terrifying the enemy. So with the terrified level, as it goes up in levels, the enemy is going to get massively debuffed. So one of those debuffs is going to actually have their attack power lowered, which is going to actually be quite good, as a lot of the damage that this enemy does is going to actually be physical damage, so that should actually work out quite well. Then over here, this is going to be the Sun Fan. So here, while I will mainly be using it as a healing weapon, if you remember, the Sun Fan actually does have Blade Dance Kai, which actually increases the attack power of all the characters. So that's actually going to work out quite well. So for more information about souls and equipment from this team, you can look down in the video description down below. But now I want to go ahead and go over the abilities of this particular Mega Monster. So the Comet Slime is, of course, the type of enemy is going to be a slime, going to have around 700,000 HP if you do a solo. With the support group to actually help you out with Tsuramichi. Gonna have 1 to 2 actions per turn. Weaknesses going to be Dorma, Hado, and Jibaria, but also non-attribute damage will work here as well. So its main ability is going to be called Comet Cannon. So with this does 1.8 times the amount of characters consumed in P in damage to all characters, with a chance to inflict the weakened level 2 debuff. After that, it's going to have an ability called Comet Fall. This does 300 damage 6 times to random characters, with the chance to inflict confusion, lower tension level by 1, and activates the Black Hole Domain skill. After that, we're going to have Pucci Comet Fall, which is Petite Comet Fall. This does 200 damage 6 times to random characters, with the chance to inflict confusion, lower tension level by 1, and activates the Black Hole Domain skill. After that, we're going to have Takaku Tobi Hane no Shikakaru, which is going to be high jump pounce. This does around 620 damage to all characters with the chance to knock them down. After that, we're going to have Comet Claw. With this does around 300 physical damage to 4 times to random characters. Then we're also going to have Uchu no Kaze, which is Space Wind. This does around 290 breath damage to all characters and takes away 95 MP from all of them. It's also going to have a regular attack that does around 520 physical damage to one character. Going to have an ability called Hoshi no Kiseki, which is Miracle of the Stars. This has a chance to lower the agility of 2 random characters by 2 ranks. And then, of course, at the beginning of the battle, is going to have a sudden activation skill. So with this sudden activation skill, it gives the Comet Slime's tension level, increases the Comet Slime's tension level by 1. Gives the Comet Slime debuff chance guard level 1. Forsaken, which is actually Evil Eye. So I decided to actually change the name of this particular ability as it's actually more fitting. So Forsaken. So if you remember with that, you can't do successive actions. Otherwise, the next action that the same character does will actually be lowered quite a bit. Then the last part is going to be Disruption Wave Guard. So again, using Disruption Wave is not going to work on this particular enemy. So my notes for this particular battle. So in this case, you want to increase the Resident Slime level in order to increase the strength of the Resident Slime support character. Also, you want to use Protective Shield to protect against confusion and being knocked down. You want to avoid having the same character do successive attacks, so again from Forsaken. So you want to try to keep HP and MP as full as possible in order to avoid the effects of the Comet Cannon. So you also want to debuff the Comet Slime with Rukani and Henitos to lower its defenses and attack power respectively. Again, here with the Demon King Piccolo's throne, I'm going to actually be using that through Terrified. Then you want to try to remove the enemy's domain skill and lower the enemy's tension level to make the battle go smoother. And then of course you want to equip gear, souls, and soul pearls that increase your resistance and or damage to slime type enemies. So pretty much the main part of my strategy is to pretty much just deal damage to the Comet Slime, so while also increasing its Terrified level to the point that its attack power will be leveled by 2 ranks. So yeah, that's going to be quite good, as the amount of damage that the Comet Slime will do to me will actually be very minimal. So with that said, I want to go ahead into this battle, so here we go. Okay, so here we go with this battle. So I'm pretty confident that things are actually going to go well with this particular battle. So here, pretty much going to start off with my Guardian there, and also increase Terrified level as well. So here, looks like we can do some pretty good damage here. So 34,000. Here, Kamehameha. Probably, I would say this is going to do about 15,000 damage. 9,100. But, I did increase the Terrified level there. So there, the actual attack power of the enemy has been lowered. So that's actually going to significantly, not significantly, but definitely lower the attack power of the enemy here. So there, 2 of my characters got knocked down. So I'm not going to worry too much about that here, just going to use Blade Dance Kai again. And there with the heal, so no problems. Oh, nice guard there. So here again, going to use Explosive Demonic Wave. So hopefully increase that terrified level. Nothing there. Let's see if anything happens here. Nothing there either. But should still be okay. 52,000. Here what I'll do is I will actually go ahead and use this. Here this actually is going to increase MP of the characters. Okay, so lowered my agility for my guardian. So there, that's actually okay, no problem. So Kamehameha. So 60,000 damage. So 49,000. Here, going to definitely have to heal up. Then over here, pretty much, again, explosive demonic wave. Again, increased terrified level 4. And that also, and there, pretty much guarded everything, but they're pretty much taking minimal damage, so that actually did work out well. 33,000. 42,000. So pretty much almost every turn, it looks like I can pretty much get 100,000, at least 100,000 in terms of damage to the enemy. So that actually does help out. Here, going to again try to increase. Okay, good. So increased again for terrified level. So terrified level 6. So in that case, it actually has lost a turn. But pretty much probably right here, going to be finished. So 85,000. Okay. So again, 44,850 XP. A purple soul, and here, oh, I got a B. Okay, so that was my battle against the Comet Slime with this particular team. So pretty much just a straight dealing damage team. Pretty much, like I said, my ultimate strategy here was just to increase Terrified level to lower its attack power. And you actually saw during this battle that I wasn't, for the most part, I was not in like real danger of having any of my characters actually falling in battle. So pretty much everyone was able to stay alive, and I was taking not a whole lot of damage from the Comet Slime, but pretty much all my characters just doing damage to the enemy, while my Guardian was not taking or not doing a whole lot of damage to the enemy here. It actually did make up in terms of increasing the terrified level of the enemy, which actually has them take damage. So pretty much every turn it was taking about 40,000 damage just from the terrified level. So that's going to be the effect from my Guardian. But my God Hand and my Demon Swordsman, they actually did well with doing some extra damage. So pretty much almost every turn doing a little bit over 100,000 damage to the enemy. Then of course with my High Priest doing pretty much for the first 2 rounds using Blade Dance Kai in order to increase attack power, and then at the closer to the end of the battle using this particular character for healing, which is actually quite good because the healing ability actually does do damage to the enemy, which actually changes the Forsaken buff on that particular character into focusing it onto the fourth character here. So that actually does help out in terms of successive order. But yeah, so that's going to be that particular mega monster. So sorry about the weird cut. So before, when I previously recorded, I did not have the S grade soul, but I actually recently acquired it. So I actually want to go over it right over here. So going to be in our inventory, in our souls. So here going to be purple S grade, and going to be right over right here. So this is going to be the Comet Slime S grade soul. So a purple soul. So with purple souls, for the main stats, the biggest stats here are going to be your max HP 131, your max MP 130. Your durability is actually not so bad here for a purple soul. This is going to be 83. Then for magic power 129, and for agility 88, and dexterity 103. In terms of the abilities that you have here you're going to have plus 7% to spell damage, plus 12% to Dorma spell damage, plus 2% to Echo of the Magnus activation rate if this is equipped on an Archmage, then plus 2% to Kakaron's Blessing activation rate if this is equipped on a Druid. Then after that, we're also going to have plus 7% to spell resistance and plus 5% to lost turn resistance. So pretty much any debuff that actually that has an effect that causes you to lose a turn, that will be effective. You have resistance for that. So that's going to be the S grade soul for the Comet Slime. And here I'm going to go ahead and lock this in. So that's going to be it for this video. So one small thing that I actually want to mention, that I actually did make a change to the team, is going to be the character on the left. So I actually decided to go back to a dragon equipped with the dragon God King staff. So that actually has been more effective in battle. So that's pretty much the team that I would recommend here. But with that said, that's going to be it for this video. What I probably will do next is, probably before I actually do the super high difficulty, or the high difficulty quest for this event, I do want to start going over the main story quest 17 bosses as well. So please stay tuned for that. But with that said, I want to go ahead and end this video here. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.